How do societies recover from natural disasters? This has been a very important question for a very long time in human history. In recent times, during the past 100 years, we can also observe a steady increase in the number of natural disasters, such as floods, earthquakes, hurricanes, wildfires, or volcano outbreaks, which cause dramatic physical, psychological, and financial damage and suffering in affected regions and communities. Developing our understanding of how natural disaster management processes can be improved in order to support the recovery of affected communities is a key focus in my research. Post-disaster management process is commonly divided into three major phases: the immediate response and relief phase, the recovery, and the reconstructing phase. The disaster relief phase is characterized by a massive inflow of heroic local, national, international aid workers and aid organizations. And we also know more and more about how we can better coordinate and improve the immediate disaster response in order to help alleviate the immediate suffering of regions and communities. For instance, by offering improved technical devices, medical aid, improved search and rescue actions, or improved psychological support. However, several weeks or months after a major natural disaster and after the heroic support has been provided, we typically see that many support organizations and helpers leave, which means that affected regions and traumatized communities are on their own in how to recover and reconstruct their infrastructures in the long term. And this is a key problem because after the disaster relief phase, people really begin to realize the damage and loss caused by the disaster. And this often leads to severe depression and disillusionment experienced by people, which makes the long-term recovery process very challenging. In my own research, in collaboration with many great colleagues, I expand the knowledge of post-disaster management by showing the importance of local entrepreneurs, especially social entrepreneurs, and their practices in helping and empowering their communities to recover in the long term. For instance, as compared to international aid workers, local entrepreneurs have the advantage to be strongly embedded in the local community. They also tend to have a long-term interest in community development. And they have the means to build trust and emotional connections among community members. Centrally, we find that local entrepreneurs are key to mobilize collective emotions, positive collective emotions, through which community members are not only able to rebuild enduring physical community infrastructures, but also to develop new awareness and trusting relationships that can foster collective engagement in reconstructing the community after natural disaster. There are three major entrepreneurial community strategies. The first strategy we call compassion organizing. Here we see that in addition to large-scale support by international agencies and organizations, the support practices by local social entrepreneurs are especially key in creating a shared feeling of security and compassionate empathy among community members to help each other and alleviate immediate suffering in the community. So, building compassionate empathy from within the community is essential to be able to move from the immediate disaster response phase to the community recovery phase. The second strategy we call hope organizing. Here we see that after many international support agencies have left, local social entrepreneurs' practices are key in creating effective solidarity among community members and to develop shared hope in a better future. So building shared hope from within the community is essential to be able to move from recovery with a focus on more active reconstruction of the affected communities and regions. The third strategy we call passion organizing. Here, local social entrepreneurs' practices actively create shared confidence and passion among community members to develop new community-led projects and initiatives supporting the active rebuilding and development of their local infrastructures. Building shared passion from within the community is essential to leave the disaster behind and to be able to move from community reconstruction to regional development more generally, that goes beyond the natural disaster recovery process. Our current model introduced based on our research, which I refer to as the Ewald Kibler model, suggests locally embedded temporary disaster response and relief practices that are able to create positive collective emotions such as empathy, hope, and passion, enable and sustain the needed collective engagement in the long-term reconstruction and development of communities after a major natural disaster. In sum, I argue it is important to continue researching and integrating the role of local social entrepreneurs and their compassion, hope, and passion organizing practices in advancing our theoretical and practical knowledge of successful disaster recovery and management processes. As I have shown, local social entrepreneurs are key to complement the support offered by national and international organizations because they can make use of their local embeddedness for building trust and emotional connections between community members, and so to create positive collective emotions that empower communities to believe in a successful recovery process and in the successful reconstruction after a major natural disaster that goes beyond the actual disaster that happened. Thank you very much.